3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Forex Trading Show. Forex trading live every weekday morning. Real trades, real profits, zero analysis. Set back, relax, and get ready to profit. And now, your host, Terry from FXWithTerry.com.
Sit back, relax, and get ready to profit. Oh, notification of a trade just came in. I don't know if you heard that. Welcome. FXWithTerry.com brings you into the free Discord group, gets you my free trade. We entered this yesterday. The market, she goes sideways. The market sideways. That's what it does. Interestingly, that is giving me an opportunity to segue into something. When people are out there saying, well, you want to enter trades and have X return ratio, 2-to-1 ratio, risk no more than 1 to 2%. These people are not Forex traders. They're pundits. They don't know what they're talking about. They literally don't know what they're talking about. Because the market, she does not move consistently at all. Not even close. So what you do is you trade the market. Like yesterday, we went into this trade, AUD NZD sell trade. I called it out. The take profit has not changed. I'll open it up here. Take profit 1.10020. It's just going sideways. That's what it does. So there is no, well, what's your risk to reward return ratio? Shut up. We trade. We scale in if we need to, if it goes against us. Because here's the deal. When I say goes against us, we enter using an algorithm at our absolute best guess. It's like gambling at the casino. They send you 5 dice at the craps table. You grab 2. They pull the other 3 dice away. You roll. Well, that's what we got. You don't go, well, based off of the way he slid the dice. And I see these other people. You don't say based off the way he slid the dice, we're going to roll 7. You don't fucking know. Right? You take your best guess. You can see people that believe they're taking a better guess than you when you roll them the 5 dice or slide them when the dealer slides you the 5 dice and you pull out the 2. I see them stand there and look at it and they flip the dice into certain numbers to what's on top, and then they roll the dice. I'm like, roll the fucking dice. You don't know. You're not manipulating it other than, throwing it is random. Turning it to numbers it's still random. Superstition, all that stuff, low IQ. I always talk about that. I know I sound like a jerk when I say that. It's real, my friends. It's real. So we've got a trade here. Sell AUD NZD. Let's look at the chart real quick. Just because I know people fucking love to just analyze the candlesticks and those 3-bar plays because of the institutional fair market value where they entered. What you do, if you look at trading, I'm just trust me on this one. Enter, if you want to learn how to trade, enter a trade, open a currency pair, enter randomly, and manage that trade. Here's what's interesting. 50% of the time, it'll just, like if you do a buy entry, 50% of the time, it'll just move up and you can take profit at whatever profit you want. The other 50% of the time, it'll move against your buy signal. You can add another trade in the buy direction. It'll move against. You can add another trade in the buy direction. It'll move against. You can add another trade in the buy direction, increase your lot size a little bit. What that does is that it pulls your profit area on that entire basket of trades, which is exactly what my algorithm does. it pulls your take profit closer to the current price. When you get a bounce because price bounces, you can take profit. You can get out of break even. You can get out of a tiny loss if you want to. Move on. You were wrong on the direction. Or you can keep scaling in if you have room. If you have room, meaning you bid very conservatively to start, and you give yourself room to scale in and add trades and increase your lot size, not exponentially, but a few times. Farther it goes against me on a trade, the higher I will increase my lot size. That brings my take profit for the entire basket of trades closer. People call it dollar cost averaging. It is the only way to trade. It is. It is. Especially if you're smart and you pull out your profits on a weekly basis and you hold it in Bitcoin for 5+ years. You'll do better than probably anyone else in the market. So, yeah, we had this huge push up on AUD NZD, and it's obviously the price is returning to that area where it pushed away from down here. It's returning to that because for the banks to push it up that far and that hard, this is the 4-hour chart, they dumped a lot of money, a lot of orders. They were in drawdown. So they're going to slowly trickle it back down, get themselves a good price. They're in drawdown. They're going to get profitable somewhere down here. You know, that's kind of the move that's happening. Now, it's very easy for me to say that by looking at what's happening, but that I don't enter or trade based off of history. I'm showing you what it did. I'm not entering based off of this or anything. In this particular case, my algorithm entered a sell. Well, yeah, it entered a sell right there, and then here's the take profit down here. It's like the algorithm, it certainly is smarter than us. Is it always right? It doesn't need to be right. It needs to be net profitable. Doesn't matter what the fucking direction is. It just ends in a net profit. That's it, pretty simple. So you could enter this trade. I'm not saying there won't be any more. Certainly looks like it's slowly trickling down to our take profit. And that's how our system works. Pretty simple. So I'll give you guys a little bit of an update that follow along. I know a lot of people can't log in to the live session. I'm starting to really understand that lately. Because I'm a little random. I'm a fucking free and easy, free lifestyle entrepreneur, right? I'll go live whenever I freaking feel like it. Or I'll just sleep all day. I don't know. Or I'll go to the Mexican restaurant down the street and start drinking their margarita flights at noon, and maybe I don't show up, right? But that's part of living your life. Now, what's interesting is my income is not made by going live. My algorithm, automatically trading, I shouldn't even say income, profits, right? Because I typically say, that's kind of a buzzword, income, right? I don't trade Forex for income. I trade it for long-term holding in Bitcoin. And there's massive return on investment in something like that. Even if it's $10 a week. $10 a week for 10 years in Bitcoin at the current CAGR, the combined annual growth rate, is $6.5 million. I have a free calculator in my group. You can open it up, the Google spreadsheet, type in, here's how much Bitcoin I own, 0 or more. Here's how much I'm putting away a week. Here's how much I'd like to put away a week. And then you can type in, well, what's this going to be in 3 years, 7 years, 12 years? What's it going to be? It's astronomical numbers over 10 years. Unfathomable numbers over a 20-year period. Like 9 plus zeros. Nine zeros is a billion, right? That's the math. It's just a calculator. It will outpace gold and the S&P 500 from what we've all seen. So, not financial advice, just a factual statement of what's happening. So, as an entrepreneur, we're getting into my time of the year when I go on the road, start traveling, and eventually settle somewhere in a nice climate for the winter. And I get very entrepreneurial, and I like to evolve And I've been thinking a lot lately. I've been talking to you guys about what time I go live, and some people are like, well, I'm working, and other people catch it later, and this and that. And I'm not gonna bullshit you. What I've been doing, which is looking at trade results and looking at history. There's another trade that just went off. What I've been doing is not the best way to do it, meaning going live and showing results. For some reason, that puts people to sleep. I get it. Now, I have originally done this because I thought members of my system, and we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of members, I thought that people would really use this opportunity as, let's call it live consultation. People want to learn. People have questions. I've been doing this. I started this live show pretty much, I believe, January 2nd, certainly January of this year. So what are we? We're 10 months in, right? I really thought that people would utilize it in a different way that they are. They're not, which is perfectly fine. And here's why. Not that what I'm doing isn't awesome. People are like, I turned on your Forex system, Terry, and I go to work and I live my life. Someone just, I think it was Brian in the group today, or I seen a recent result that he posted. He says, thanks for lunch, Terry. Right? And I think the profit was like 25, 30 bucks, something like that. Everybody uses this differently. I personally pull every bit of profit and withdrawal out of my account on a weekly, bi-weekly basis. Depends on what the market's delivering, right? And I hold it in Bitcoin. I think it's what you should do. Don't take my advice. I'm a degenerate gambler. But hey, that's me, and I'm allowed to do that. Everybody has their own opinion, their own path. I'm not providing you financial advice. I'm providing you some educational, mostly entertainment, and you take it for what it's worth. Speaking of that, I believe in my mind I'm going to shift this live session away from the what apparent, although it's not to me, but apparent dryness of what I've been delivering, which is, hey, here's the results. See you tomorrow. And everybody's like, okay, yeah, well, I'm using your system. I can see the results. Thank you. I'd also like to not put my whole life into this. I mean, I already saved you hundreds and hundreds of hours a month of, you don't have to look at the charts. You really don't have to pay too much attention to it. Bid conservatively, look at the end of the month, look at the end of the week, how much you made. You're like feeling pretty good. Pull that withdrawal out, hold it in Bitcoin if you want to. And it's a great way to amass Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. It's a great way to amass it, to collect it, without having to go out and use your hard-earned dollars to buy it, without having to go out and buy it from an exchange, which I don't suggest you do. Unless you need some to trade, you go do that, right? But your Bitcoin can be, your cryptocurrency can be created, Bitcoin, from trading. And then holding that over a 5+ year period, just massively profitable. Massively profitable. Do not hold your Bitcoin on an exchange. An exchange is a place that's not a wallet. An exchange is someone else holding your, like Coinbase. Coinbase is a good exchange. I think it's probably the top one. But you don't hold your money there. If you need to buy some to start trading with, buy it there. You're going to be on the radar. They're going to ask you for all of your identity documents. They're going to ask you for your third born. They will also ask you to pee in a cup and maybe share some DNA. Right? They will do that. And then they will report that to the IRS. However, if you're amassing, it's like this. It's the concept of Bitcoin mining. Okay? I just signed up with a Bitcoin mining company because I have this high-speed computer that I'm going to leave where I'm at a family's house. I'm going to leave it in the basement, and I'm going to have it mine Bitcoin all winter. We'll see what I make, right? But when I signed up for that, I think it's called Nice Hash. Nice Hash is the software Bitcoin miner. The KYC'd me. I mean, I pretty much had to crap in a cup to show them everything about me and prove that I'm real. I'm like, oh, I didn't really expect that. But that's so they can, report what you do to the government. Then the government can know exactly everything you have as far as cryptocurrency. But the current administration is trying to regulate it, and the whole power behind Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is decentralized finance, DeFi. Decentralized. No one owns it. No one's in charge of it. It's a conglomeration of millions of computers around the internet that process these transactions, and it's peer-to-peer. It's the smartest, best way to go. Oh boy, they try to regulate it. They really trying to. But, it's like privacy. The less information you give out to the world, the more private you are. Simple as that. So what I'm going to do is I have this feeling in my head of the direction that we're going to go, and I'm just going to slowly take this daily live show there. And I'll give you some ideas here. Give me some feedback, what you think. But this is the direction I'm going. No longer will this show ultimately be about me espousing to current subscribers and members all of the data that they already fucking can look at and know. Everybody's trading the feeds. Everybody sees the overall system monitor, which we can look at that account today. What I'm going to do is, and I don't want to lean on this word too much, but this needs to become more entertaining / educational. Edutainment is really what this needs to be. From a standpoint of, I've learned a lot. I continue to learn about Forex. But I want to do it from a maybe crushing. Someone said this yesterday. They said that I was talking about the mind virus and it was Monday. They're like, it was mind virus Monday. I like that, right? I want to be able to crush those things. Those things. I want to show you other creators that are just espousing things that if you hear them and you're not aware that it's a mind virus, you could potentially be infected and now spend months, if not years, like I did. I spent years. I'm in 2.5 to 3 years of my original Forex journey. Was just, I sucked in every mind virus because I am obsessed. When I go in on something, I swim right to the deep end, go right to the bottom. What's down here? I go all in, and in doing so, I had a lot of mind viruses, but I'm also a good, solid, critical thinker, logical. I'm a first principles entrepreneur. Go look that up. I'm a first principles entrepreneur. Elon Musk talks about it, where it's more of a concept of what can you get rid of? What is here in the industry that everyone's attached to that is not needed and is probably causing problems? Stop loss. Yeah, that's one. Set a stop, take a loss. I was like, what? Okay. How many times I lost money setting a stop loss? I'm not saying just enter a trade and let it run completely against you. I'm saying enter a trade and manage it. You can do that with dollar cost averaging, scaling in to a trade, scaling in against a trade, which begs the concept of if I need some room, because we don't know what the market's going to do, if I need some room in my account, maybe I shouldn't enter the first trade at an outrageous lot size. Maybe I shouldn't. If I enter a trade and it goes in my direction and I entered at a very low lot size, I'm taking net profit. And you'll find that those trades that go against you a little bit, instead of immediately, in the direction that you entered, those trades that go against you are so much more profitable. So that's the balance that you have to have. You go in at 10 cents on the bid, it goes in your direction, you take a few dollars profit. You go in at 10 cents on the bid, and it goes against you, you add another trade. Goes against you, add another trade. Goes against you, you scale up a little bit. Like, okay, what are we doing? And through those trades, you make massive amounts of money when it goes against you because you understand how to manage. What's interesting is my algorithm does it automatically for you 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. Starts at Sunday at 5 p.m. New York open time, or I'm sorry, Asia open time, and it stops at 5 p.m. New York close time on Friday. And it's all automated. 100% automated. Once in a while we get a currency pair that runs away and people start shitting themselves because this went too far and they haven't seen this before and they don't know what to do. But that's why I'm here. I'll tell you when I'm hedging. You'll get to see what lot size and margin level percent I'm in at. The value in doing that, because we're on the same, we're trading the same thing. The trades are coming from my system. I can see what's going on. I can help you manipulate it, and you learn a lot. You learn a lot by just sitting there watching it and managing when you have to. How many times have I had to manually manage a trade this year? Three times? 3 or 4 maybe? That's not too bad. Out of 240 trading days per year, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Derek says, best system on the market. Get in or lose out, plain and simple. Derek going hardcore today. Derek going hardcore. So the way that this is going to change is that I want to, let me just be really upfront, because I almost want to like sugarcoat this a little bit, right? This daily show is going to become primarily edutainment. I'm going to educate you. I want to entertain you because I have a little bit of entertainment ability in me. I like to have some fun. I like to point fun at things that maybe you don't see and you're like, oh, that is kind of funny and fun. We're going to go deep on some things. I'll look at, I hate to, it's going to sound negative. I just have to do that. I'll look at all the bullshit in the industry. All the things I went through that they told me would work that don't work. That work for short periods of time and then blow your account. We'll look at all sorts of, I'm always testing a robot or an algorithm. We'll look at that kind of stuff. I want to make it something that is not just us looking at the results from trades. It's boring the hell out of people. It wouldn't bore me. It's what I want. I mean, I want to see what's going on. A big part of the daily live show will be marketing. And I say that to the members because they're going to be like, what the hell is he talking about? I'm going to create shorts and commercials that educate about my system, that educate about Forex, that grow the group. I'm going to take the opportunity that when I'm live to educate someone into the system. I'm going to educate you into the system. Here's what we're doing. Here's why you should do it. And instead of me trying to do it live off the cuff, I'm going to create dozens of short video clips where when I'm sitting here talking about current conditions, current trades, I'll say, stand by for a brief message. I'll hit the button and it will play. And it will be designed to, over time, slowly, positively manipulate the watchers into avoiding the mind viruses, into getting profitable, into using the automation, into using my free signal, and potentially more engagement. Although I don't necessarily need that. I think it's good for the algorithms, good for YouTube, it's good for marketing. So there's that word again. You're going to see, and it won't be like, flashy commercials. It'll be edutainment. I'm going to educate you on the best way, what I believe is the best way. I have not seen a better way, the best way to trade. And how to change that mindset of that person that says, I'm looking for an algorithm that gives me a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, or whatever the hell numbers they use. I had someone giving me some numbers the other day. I need a 3M PPD or something like that. I'm like, PDD, profit to drawdown ratio. You need what? So that's a mind virus. Someone has made that person believe, and they've taken it farther due to their overthinking. And that's a very common human trait, overthinking. Again, go look up what's called first principles engineering. Go look it up. Go watch Elon Musk talk about it. But what they do is they get this virus in their head, and they're like, I'm only ever going to accept any signals, any trading, any bots that have a high return to drawdown ratio. I'm looking for something less than 2% drawdown ratio with a 30% month return on investment. Man, I want to kick myself in my own nuts when I hear someone say that. What? You want what? Who's made you believe that the market makers move the market consistent enough for you to have a fucking automated 2% drawdown, 30% return on investment a month? What? Well, I've seen it done, Tara. I've seen it being done. Have you? What, for 3 weeks at a time? For a month? You know, you are always going to have a trade that you're going to have to go, oh shit, we need to manage this one a little tighter. We need to shut some stuff off. We need to get focused. If you're in the live chat right now, let other people know that we've had to do that this year. Quite a few times this summer. 2-3 times this summer. We got the oh shit. But that was because the person, most of the time, the people that are panicking have just, you look at their account, you're like, oh my God, why are you trading that many pairs at that high of a lot size, knowing that we could potentially dollar cost average, which takes some money to do, takes some bankroll to do. That's why you have a deposit, right? That's why you have a balance. You use that balance. 2% drawdown, 30% return on investment. What? No, they're like, that's all I'm looking for. Because you know why? Because that's fear. It's ignorance. Not being a jerk, but that's just ignorance to the reality of what the market does. That's it. Might hate me for saying that. Okay, whatever. All I need is me. All I'd like to have is a group of few hundred, few thousand people that understand what I'm telling them, and we just do it. And when we get that trade that runs a little bit on us, we manage it together. How do you manage? You hedge. You don't know what a hedge is? Come on into the group. Start asking questions. A few months ago, I said, I'm going to make a video about my concept of hedging. No one seemed interested at all. Oh, they certainly start messaging me in the middle of the night, 3 a.m. Terry, can you take a look at my account? My margin level percent is 256. I'm like, okay, what's your account balance? Your account balance is $1,200, and you're bidding $1 per pip using the entire algorithm I give you. What are you doing? Right at that point, I'm like, oh, well, this can be a little hard to hedge 14 different pairs, basket of trades. You know, come on. I mean, if you're going to be Mr. or Mrs. Risky, Mr. or Missy Risky, Mr. or Mrs. Risky, if you're going to risk like that, then there are better ways to do it. Maybe trade my feed, the OPP feed, the one profitable pair feed. That way, if it does run on you, because I have a sample account, we'll go look at it here. I have a sample account. Let me pull it up here, where I started out with like $3,000. And let's see, where is it at here? Man, I have so many accounts. It is going to be this one, I believe. Yes, sir. I'll share this with you. So, started this out at a $3,000 account not quite a month ago. It's gained $1,878. I am trading my one profitable pair feed. There you go. Just gave away a free trade on YouTube to the world. Nobody's fucking watching anyway, right? So, AUD USD buy trade. I'm in it at 0.15 on a, originally a now $4,800 account. That's a little bit of a high bid. Not for this one trade, but if AUD USD runs against us and the lot size from the algorithm starts going up, it won't go up exponentially, but it will start to increase. Question is, do I have enough margin level percent to trade it? I don't give a shit about drawdown. I don't care. I just launched a signal that I'm just testing out, that I put up for sale a subscription on a very popular Forex trading website. I just did it. And it's funny is that they show that account as being a 50% drawdown. And I'm like, it was only a 50% drawdown when I had like 4,000 in it. Now it's got like 40,000 in it. Okay. But they're still showing that it had a fit. I'm like, no one's going to buy this. So it's like, even if you want to get out there and share your awesome algorithm and system, you got to manipulate the shit out of it on your end to even get the numbers to show properly. That's why when people say, well, can you show me some results? I'm like, come on into the group. It's free. fxwithterry.com. You see it right there. Join the free Discord group. Get yourself a free Discord account. And go to the results, trading results section. You'll see all kinds of people posting that they're making money. And everybody's different. Everybody's trading a different feed. Everybody's trading a different lot size, different broker, different leverage. I see some questions and some comments in the live chat. I will get to those in a second here. So this particular account, if you look at it, it's done $64.43 for the day, trading some gold and trading my one profitable pair feed. This sucker has went up. It was a $3,000 account. It's went up over 50% in just a few weeks. I'm being aggressive. The market's delivering good results to me. I also put this together so we could do oh shit moments and go, all right, I'm going to have to hedge. I'm going to have to turn some pairs off. I'm going to have to, gold's running against me. I'm going to have to turn my one profitable pair feed off once that thing takes profit, or hedge and get out of it. I want you to see the management, but this has been running for 3 weeks, just crushing it. Just crushing it. Imagine, and I've said this before, here's a great philosophy for Forex trading. And you can see I'm kind of talking about the way that I see the future of the show going. We're having a discussion. I'm bringing you up to speed on some things. And I will answer those questions and read those comments that are in the live chat. So give me a second here. You could take, I've said this before, I'll say this a lot. If you have the money to do it, start yourself a few $1,000 Forex account, plug into my automated feed, the one profitable pair feed, add gold to it, and bid like a 10 or 15x on the one profitable pair feed, and bid a 5x on the gold feed, which is what I'm doing in this account. And this is nearly going to double. This account is right now on track, unless I got to manage it. When this account doubles, or whatever profits I get at the end of the month. Let's say I started with a $3,000 account and it gets to $5,000, which is about where we're at now. So I pull out the $2,000. I still got my $3,000 account. I'm still trading aggressively. Eventually, if you continue to pull profits out, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever, you will have your original deposit back, the $2,000, if you started with $2,000. And that, I believe, if you want the big bucks and the big risk, that's how you do it. You take small accounts and you double them. You pull out your profits. You take that small account, you double it again. You pull out your profits. Take that small account, you double again, and you pull out your profits. Eventually, because you're also kind of learning and practicing, depends on how good you get at this. I'm pretty good at not blowing accounts. Eventually, you're going to blow an account because you just, mostly probably because of mistake. Maybe something happened in the middle of the night. You weren't watching it. That's every time I've ever been burnt. It was the middle of the night. I was already bidding too much. It went too far and margined out. You're going to blow an account here and there. But if you're pulling out $6,000, $8,000, $10,000 worth of profits and then you blow an account for $2,000, I don't give a shit. You can get emotional about it if you want to, but I think that's a good way to do it. And my system lends really well towards doing that concept. Let me scroll back here. I'm going to read some of this stuff. How do you say that? Orgel's second rule? This person says, I love this contrarian approach. It's interesting that you think it's contrarian. I think that all of the people out there that are talking all the bullshit, like setting stop losses, they're contrarian as hell. But I understand what you're saying. You said, have done it with success. I've been doing something with success that I don't know if it has a name. Dollar cost average every 15 to 30 minutes with micro lots. Very smart. That's essentially what we're doing. I've just automated it. And to me, I've tried all kinds of algorithms and other approaches. They eventually just blow out because you have to rely on that algorithm. In our particular case, the algorithm delivers us a trade, and we can protect our account with a hedge if we've overbid or if the system has overtraded, right? We can protect it with a hedge and get out at, if you got to lose during a hedge, you're going to lose a heck of a lot less. You're going to take a lot, instead of margining out your account, you can take a little bit of a loss. You can get out at break even. Once I've have to hedge, I'm not trying to make a profit. Once I have to hedge, now if it goes, sometimes that happens. I hedge right at the breaking point. It goes back in my favor. I get out of the hedge at break even or a little bit of a loss, and that trade ends up going profitable. I'm like, great, right? That's the intent behind it. So the second part of this comment was with specific targets, but no stop loss because such a small position. Is this a thing? It seems to be working. It is a thing. So now you're talking about small positions. That's what makes people, I'm not going to make enough money. No, you actually will, because the thing is, you start out with a small position. Half of the trades are going to go against you. That's when you can add trades, scale your lot size up, not exponentially, not every trade. And my system just automatically does this. It's pretty simplistic. What I have is a good, and here's the hard part. The hardest part is your entry method. My entry method is not random on this particular algorithm. It has a very specific entry method that took me, 6 years to figure out. And I wouldn't reveal it to you. It's pointless. It's quite mathematical. It's quite historical driven. It's quite ADR, average daily range. It's quite channel driven, in the sense that if you look at statistics, again, I said it's mathematical, how far a currency pair moves away from its mean reversion, right? Things like that. So the hardest part of what I built here is not the dollar cost averaging, not the starting out with a small position, as you say. The hardest part was the entry, because you don't want to have such a shitty entry that you have to dollar cost average every trade and scale in every trade. You'll notice if you look at my algorithm, a lot of the trades enter, go to profit, 8-10 pips. Enter, go to profit, 8-10 pips. Enter, go to profit, 8-10 pips. A lot of that happens. But if you look at it, it's probably, overall, if you look at it over a year, it's probably 50-50, right? 50 immediately go into profit, 50 take a few trades to get to profit, and a handful go really far. But it's not, here's the thing. When a trade goes 37 trades against us in a basket of trades, and you're shitting yourself, it's not my algorithm. It's the market. It's the crazy movement of the market. It's the big banks going, yeah, we're taking this one down. And they're basically just doing a liquidity grab. They're just grabbing everybody's stop loss, because all the retail traders are all doing the same damn thing. It looks like it's going down. We're all going to sell. And then it shoots up through the roof. And everybody holds their trade. Maybe it'll come down. Maybe it'll come down. Maybe it'll come down. Oh, stopped out. Lose all my account. We have the ability with the algorithm itself really helps to avoid that, and then with the ability to manage it ourselves and hedge and protect the account. It's the best I've ever seen. This is the best. Yeah, it's mine. Yeah, I'm delivering it to you. It is the best I've ever seen. I would not be in the Forex trading business right now had I not found this, because it was a bunch of shit and I lost for years and years and years. Buy a robot for $989, watched the videos, looked at all their results. Oh my God, this thing is incredible. Buy the robot for $989, run it on historical data, exactly copying the settings they show in all the videos, lose my ass. What? Because they're manipulating the shit out of it. It's just not, it's all hype. That's the one thing you won't get from me is a bunch of hype. Oh, I took $1,000 to $1 million with this robot. You see it out there all the time. I buy all of those robots. Ain't a goddamn one of them worth a dime. Not one. Not one. There have been some recent ones I bought in the last few years that look so damn good. You run it on real-time data moving forward. Blows the account every 3 weeks. Every 6 weeks, every 2 months, just blows it. It looks so good. It's so awesome. Yeah. And you can't even hedge or protect the account because the thing is trying to do its own hedging and bunch of trades and all, increasing the lot size and decreasing the lot size and doing a hedge and a buy and a sell, and you can't manage it. You just have to let it run itself into the ground. But that's no fun. That is zero fun. Dave Mack said, could you explain margin level percent for us dummies? I can. If I explained it, it would be a mathematical representation. Go look up, we'll talk about it here, but go look up the mathematical representation. I can kind of paraphrase it because it's pointless, right? I use it as a pure representation of when I need to take some action. So the way it's arrived at is, I think I'm wrong, but go look this up. It's something like balance divided by equity times 100. Or something like that, okay? Maybe your leverage is factored in there. Pointless, though. Here's what I do to explain it. It is purely the bottom line reference for me. Because here's the deal. You could have low drawdown, respectively, because everybody wants to look at drawdown. You could have low drawdown and feel comfortable, but your margin level percent is going to hell. Why? Because margin level percent has a little bit more factored in to the sense that, have you taken too many trades at too high of a bid? Have you taken too many trades? Forget the bid. You could take 100 trades at 0.01 lot size and your drawdown would be nothing, low. But your margin level percent would be like 250%. Oops. Because it's a better reference of you overtaxing your account, your balance, right? Your account. It's a better representation than drawdown. Drawdown if you're asking me, is absolutely irrelevant. I don't care. Look at my margin level percent in this account right now. 24,000%. That's go take a nap, my friend. There is more room there, and there obviously is, right? Once I start getting down to 3,000, 2,000, 1,000% margin level, I'm overtaxing my account. I've gone too far. I don't care what the drawdown is. The drawdown will go all over the place. I don't care what it is. I don't care what my maximum drawdown is. I care what my margin level percent is. It's a better representation of, are you over trading too many currency pairs? Are you overbidding? Too high of a bid on too many currency pairs. Because what's interesting is your account will take a huge hit if you're in 50 trades at 0.01 lot size than if you were at one trade at 1.0 lot size. It's totally different representation, margin level percent wise. And I'm being more of a kind of a feeling about it than anything. When do I start hedging? It's very trade and chart movement specific. But I start looking at it real hard at about 2,000% margin level. I start planning my hedge when it nears 1,000% margin level. That's me. I'm experienced at this. You might want to start planning something maybe earlier than that. In my experience, 3,000% margin level, that's a sweet spot. Like you're using your balance, you're doing pretty good. Market's giving you some good trades, right? I have recently, with $110,000 account of my own, taken it down to 256% margin level. Why? Because I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the chart. It's a very unique specific. I'm looking at the high impact news. I'm looking at the chart. I'm looking at the standard movement, the standard pips of that particular pair. I'm taking a lot of things in, and those are the things that, being a member on these videos, we can go through. One of the things I can do, if someone in the group wants to do a live consultation, and I feel like they have, some legit questions, I'll hit the video and we'll do a live consult right inside the group. Like nobody has done that yet. I'm not saying that I want to do that, but I have the ability to do that. So hopefully you asked what it's just, I think if I said anything more, I'd be repeating myself. But it's also an experience. Trade and watch that margin percent level. Have an idea when you're going to hedge and protect your account. Have an idea. And listen, it's not always just straight hedge. You might look and go, you know what? I'm going to cut a few losses here and put all of the account energy into this one basket of trades or this one pair. So there's those situations. There's other times when I've looked at a pair that I'm getting down around 1,000% margin level, and I'm like looking at just basic stuff, looking at the day chart, support and resistance, and I'm going, man, this thing could go a lot farther against me. I'm you know what, and I really don't want to stay up all night managing this, so I can do some things. Here's one advanced thing that I'll start talking about, is how to open up that trade that you need to manage inside of MetaTrader 4 on your desktop, and how to easier manage it. It's harder to do what I do, hedge, pending orders, looking at different time frames and stuff. It's harder. It's not as effective on your mobile device. But of course, I've got all my trades. I monitor on mobile. But if I need to really get in and do something down and dirty, or use an EA, there are some some robots that I use that will hedge and help protect the account. A lot I've used, you're going to go, oh, I've heard about, I remember back in the day, you used to use this thing called AW Recovery. I thought it was awesome until it wasn't awesome, right? It just, if you want to, I thought it would recover a trade for you. It will, but it'll take about 6 months. So if you got 6 months to recover a trade, great. But there's some some things I'm testing. I'm going to get more into that from an entertainment, edutainment standpoint. I'm going to do that for you guys. So these lives will become different. You see, when I'm just talking off the cuff right now. I think this is a better way to do a live than to, just show results ad nauseum. Okay. But this is a good account. And I'm going to stop looking at all accounts every day. I'm going to look at, if you want to see all accounts, come in and subscribe. If you want to see everything, come in and subscribe. If you're not a believer in my system, then, don't, obviously, right? But I'm going to spend time doing much more education, entertainment, and / marketing. I'm going to use this show to build the group, and to build it with a person that I bring in that I'm educating very well on these live sessions. Because apparently, oddly, just showing positive net profit results is not interesting to people. Just not. Tell me if I'm wrong. It's just not interesting to people. Let me see here. Reading a couple more things. Yep. Orgel's second rule says, middle of the night has killed me. Me too. and sometimes I'm just like, I gotta, but there's some things you can put into place. There are some EAs, which we'll get more into. I've always, I never wanted to get really too technical with people, but I'm very technical on running VPS servers and EAs and protections and all this other stuff. We'll dig into some of those advanced things. We will. We'll dig into it. Why not? But, yeah, and Orgel says, also got me a funded account one time. So, yeah, this is kind of, there's a book out there called Virus of the Mind. You need to read it. Everyone needs to read this. But yeah, that's really a big buzzword for me. Hedging is amazing, and just kind of reading some stuff here. Let me put this up here so I can read this. Just to be clear, DCA random, no set entry area, but with buys in trending market above 200 EMA, opposite for bear market. Thanks for the great info. Yeah, and entertainment. You're absolutely welcome. Be careful there with the whole 200 EMA, and those can help. But frankly, I've run enough EAs, enough robots on things like EMA robots, and they always lose. So that EMA is more of a kind of like comfort feeling. I'm above or I'm below the 200 EMA. In my experience, the 50 EMA is the best from all of my testing on robots. I use the 50 EMA on some things. I'm not saying it's magic, but it seems to be the best. If you talk about moving average crosses, I used to trade a lot. I used to trade the 13 and the 48 EMA. Right, you said nothing but a guidepost. Absolutely, but you know what? I if there were guideposts, we'd probably all be better traders. There's not really any guideposts. You will do extremely well. When I finally learned, and I had to teach this to myself, enter the trade and manage it. Just enter a random trade and manage it. I had a series I was doing on YouTube for a while called The Random Trader, and I just kind of gave up on it. Because it was just way too mind-boggling for people. They were like, you're full of shit. I'm like, I'm showing you the random entry. Like, I'm showing you every day. I'm showing you the profits. And then people are like, oh, it went against you and you took profit at only $10. I'm like, what? Like, they just wanted to point out all of the... I'm like, okay, well, you go ahead and trade your indicators, your MACD. Talk about indicators. I like the RSI 4. When you get the RSI, it comes to at a 14. RSI 4 is a terrific, probably better than any EMAs, in my particular opinion. So if I was forced to not EA trade, I would, if I was forced to not EA trade, and there was no EAs, I would enter on the RSI 4 on probably the 4-hour chart, and then just dollar cost average into every trade. That's just what I would do. Oh, that's funny. Dave Mack says, I saw the random trade videos and had the aha moment. Cool. So the one or two people, here's another person, 100% Dave. The one or two people that paid attention to those. But for some reason, again, I always, as an entrepreneur, I always have a better idea. So I just kind of got away from doing those. But it's certainly very valid and very real. Maybe we'll do some more of those. Maybe I'll weave some of that into what we're doing here. Because ultimately, I'll end it with this. What I need my YouTube channel to do is build the group. I thought simply showing results would be enough. It's not. I need to give you the dopamine drug hit. We need to talk about different things. I need to open your eyes to the way that I think. Am I the GOAT? Am I the master? No, but I'll tell you what, I'm successful. What do you want? What do you want? Show me something better. Please show me something better than what we're doing right now. So let me put this up and then I'm going to stop here. So just to be clear, when you say DCA, are you saying same amount each time? That's what I do, or some kind of martingale. Neither. I'll tell you what my algorithm is programmed to do. And I have no problem kind of saying this. Martingale is a doubling of your lot size every trade. It worked. When I see it works pretty damn good, but eventually it runs you into the ground. Okay. So all I did was looked at the average daily range, the number of daily pips movement on different currency pairs, and I said, and I'm leaving some things out there because we could talk about this for hours. And I said to my algorithm, don't increase the lot size exponentially. Potentially, you'll see my trades will go in at the same lot size 3, 4, 5 times. And then it will start increasing. But it doesn't increase. It might go, let's say we started at $1. It might go $, $, $, $2, $2, $3, $4, $4, $6, 8, it might, but it looks at a lot of different things, but a lot of it is the volume of movement against. If you get a huge amount of volume and movement against, typically you're going to get a huge amount of pullback. So what my system will do when it sees that really increased level of volume, it will start really increasing the lot size, and more so adding more trades also. So it might slowly increase the lot size, but it will add more trades closer together, because if you do that, and although it feels, if you've bid too much and traded too much, it's going to feel painful. Oh God, it's going to blow out my account. But 99.9% of the time, when you get that huge momentum push against, if you look back at history that you've seen those, you see a huge wick. So that means it pulled back. That pullback in our particular case can go right to take profit. And or if you've really over leveraged and over traded, let's say you've overbid on a particular basket of pairs, you can hedge and protect yourself. But also, I got really good at hedging, and you need to get good at hedging in this particular sense. My algorithm will start adding more trades closer together with a slightly increased lot size, and it'll start really taxing your account. Typically, that's the turnaround. Typically, that's the bounce back, the pullback, and we hit take profit. So it's purely experience. It's never an exact pattern. But practice is the key. What's the best way to practice? Take my algorithm, and like we're doing with this account, and overbid. Overbid. I think it's easiest to practice hedging with the one profitable pair feed and or the gold feed. But the one profitable pair feed, because if that one pair runs away, it's just so linear. It's like, okay, I can see what's happening here. I can see my numbers. I can see when I probably should hedge. And we can talk about that ad nauseum in the group. I'll go live and talk about your particular trade. I'll pull it right up. I'll pull it right up on my mobile device. So anyway, I got a bunch of stuff to do today, getting ready to start heading on the road. Remember, you guys, I'm going to Sandusky, Ohio, the 25th, 26th, 27th. I will be at Cedar Point. Look for me. Come hang out. I won't look like this, so you might have to message me and secretly find out where I'm at. Hint, hint. I got some inside track, but you won't see this face per se. So if nefarious people are looking for me, you won't find me. But if you know, and I've said it here, come find me. We'll hang out, Sandusky, Ohio, 25th, 26th, 27th, at Cedar Point, Hollow Weekends. Let's hang out. Let's do something. One guy said it's 7 hours away. I'm like, get in your car, bro. Let's do this. Get in an airplane. Come out. Hell, if you're that much of a planner, I'll buy your ticket pass and all your food and drink. Like, come on out. What are you doing? Now, if you bring 13 of your family members, I'm not doing that for you because that's called a scam. All right. I'm done. Appreciate you watching. Evolve or die. Evolve moving forward. I didn't look at all the accounts today. You know what? The markets, everything's pretty smooth. Looking good, feeling good, making money. Plug into the free trade. Plug into the automated system. You'd be crazy not to. I will see you tomorrow, Wednesday, October 16th, sometime, for a little bit of Forex, mind virus, edutainment. I'll see you then.
Thank you for joining us on the Forex Trading Daily Live Show. Get access to all of the free trades with full auto trading at fxterry.com. Be sure to subscribe and get notified of the daily live stream. And get ready for your next profitable Forex trade.